He actually offered a job to be his lawyer to Bob Bennett. Bob Bennett, I wonder if anybody told him, was the lawyer who got Bill Clinton impeached. Bob Bennett was the lawyer who told Bill Clinton, it's okay, you can testify at a deposition about your sex life, and that's what got him impeached. He could have easily settled the case for $750,000. I called it the greatest legal blunder of the 20th century, and Bob Bennett was offered a job to come and become Trump's lawyer. I don't know what's going on in that White House. He, of course, should not testify unless he absolutely has to. And if he has to, it should be under the most rigorous restrictions of time and type of questions. And he should be prepared to answer yes, no, I don't recall, instead of giving long answers. Because the one thing they're trying to get him on is perjury. And there's no defense against that. Perjury is one of those specified in the Constitution for impeachment, and that's the one issue that has to be avoided at all cost.
Full disclosure, actually, I worked for Bob Bennett at Skadden Arps many years ago. I didn't work on that case, but I did work for Bennett at Skadden Arps. Harmeet, I would ask you, this is what the former acting Solicitor General for Obama said today. Let's watch.
I represented bin Laden's driver, but I'd have trouble representing Donald Trump. And the reason for that is very simple, which is, you know, the guy doesn't believe in the rule of law.
That's coming from the Obama administration with the way they, of course, handled the Hillary email investigation and so forth. But Harmeet, your reaction to this, what about written answers to questions? What about just a narrow area in which Donald Trump would answer questions? Could that be acceptable? Or is that another, as Professor Dershowitz says, perjury trap, perhaps?
Well, I think it's less of a perjury trap if the president answers written questions, but it causes its own problems. I mean, for one thing, I don't think the president of the United States, setting aside whether it's Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, or whoever, should be answering questions like this from a special counsel unless there is clear evidence of a crime and also is showing that he's the only person who can answer those questions. Absent that, this is a perjury trap, and it does trouble me as a supporter of the president that he wants to talk to special counsel under these circumstances. It is absolutely a perjury trap. And I think that one of the frustrations here of his lawyers and other lawyers is that maybe the president isn't following the sound advice of some of his lawyers, which is a serious problem. And, you know, a lot of lawyers...
But I love what the former Solicitor General said. He wouldn't represent Donald Trump because he doesn't believe in the rule of law, but he represented bin Laden's driver. None of these, criminals generally don't believe in the rule of law. If that was the basis for not representing somebody, all of us criminal lawyers would be out of business. That's a phony argument. I think the better argument is that it's hard to represent a client who doesn't listen to you, who doesn't take your advice. I think the president is doing something very strategic, by the way. I think he has good cop, bad cop. He has the good cops who are trying to make a deal with the special counsel to limit his exposure, to limit the kinds of questions. But then he's also preparing bad cops, Joe DeGenova, who can get on television, who can go to court, who can help litigate. I don't think that's such a bad strategy. The problem is somebody like Dowd didn't want to be caught in the middle of that. He wanted to be in control of the strategy, and he wanted to play only good cop.